Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jefferies, the present-day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those of you who are wanting to really rock your life and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. I'm actually going to have a chat about me and my shyness, being very real and vulnerable. I thought I'd share about that. A lot of people don't realize that I'm actually a really shy person. I am. And in fact, at different times working as a professional speaker, it's really caught me off guard. And in this kind of way, I remember in a couple of events where I would literally find myself hiding in the toilets at the venue where I've been speaking to thousands of people. But when you speak to thousands of people will want your attention. And I found it that I was kind of literally running away to recharge. So I'm shy and I'm also introverted. I recharge in that quietness. And it didn't become debilitating, but it was a big notice for me that I needed to build that more as a strength. And I want to talk about how being shy is not a disadvantage. It's not. If anything, it can be an absolute power move or, an absolute superpower because we're better listeners. However, we need to be able to make it work for us instead of against us. So whether you're shy, whether you're introverted, let's have a chat about that. Let's go. So I found myself in this. I really did. I found myself in this toilet. I've done it a couple of times over the last decade. And speaking at really big events takes a lot of energy to you don't just speak at the event because you're around the event and people, well, they feel like they know you and they want to have your attention and ask questions and all those things, which is all great. And it takes a lot of emotional energy and mental energy for someone like me who is shy and would rather hide behind. But I remember sitting in my naturopathic clinic 25 years ago and thinking, I love seeing all the patients who come to my clinic. I love being able to help the people that I can. However, I was frustrated that, we're never going to get to see everyone and we can't influence a lot of people. And I wanted to influence way before there was influencers. I wanted to influence people positively because I realized so many people just don't know the core basics about health. So I left clinic being the purist where you're only writing these big protocols, helping people with specific things, thinking, if I can help the masses, I can help more people. That's why I became a professional speaker. So that's all great, unless you're really shy and an introvert. It's in my throat thinking about it emotionally. It's big. It's wow. It's big emotion for me. God, I could almost nearly cry. Seriously. I think I wanted to talk about this because I meet people who are just fucking legends in life, and they'll hold themselves back from sharing their gifts with the world because they're shy. I get it. I've always been that person from when I was a little kid. Trauma and stuff in my past, absolutely, led me to hide a lot, like literally try and be invisible in life, and then that way I couldn't get into trouble. It's the truth. But as an adult, that doesn't work for me. And so I remember sitting in my naturopathic clinic thinking, I want to help people out there in the world. I want to help more people than I can just in clinics. So in those days, you wrote books. That was the way, wrote books and you worked as a speaker. So I'm going back to like 25 years. And I knew I'd be uncomfortable, but my discomfort and my loss of autonomy were less important, if that's the word, than my need to help other people. So I went, well, I have to help other people. I just have to do it, and I have to work out how to do it. So I remember when I first started, especially at speaking gigs, I would go to business women's networks and all these kind of different events and meetups and things. And I'm the shy person who would hide against the wall or arrive late so I could just grab a chair, that I fill in so that I could go, oh yeah, I'm here. Okay, all good. Versus being the person who would strut in and do their thing. So I worked out as a skill to build was for me to actually, I would find the person standing on their own in a room. In fact, I did it last weekend. I was at a speaking gig in Darwin, 500 people. They had a meet and greet on the Friday night and an awards night and stuff. And I literally looked and did it all weekend. I just do it nowadays. It's a default. I find the person standing on their own in the room and I walk up and I go, hey, I'm Jen. I've got no one to talk to. Can I talk to you, please? And 9 times out of 10, they go, yeah, I've got no one to talk to either. I said, fabulous. In fact, I had the most amazingly wonderful conversation with a woman called Sue the other night, who was one of the judges for these big awards that are having, the industry awards that they were in. And it was fabulous. I met an amazing woman. So I've learned to make it work for me and to just get comfortably uncomfortable. So, well, especially when I'm, the kind of work situations I go into working as a speaker, you're constantly on, you're on. Everyone wants you. They all want, which I get. We're getting paid to be there. So I'm not complaining about that. But I just needed to be able to deal with it in a way that I didn't get overwhelmed and literally find myself hiding in a toilet, which I 100% did a couple of times and went, what? Yeah, get out, Jen. So it's not that you have to be this big, confident person. By the way, side benefit is knowing that the way we get confidence is to have courage, because courage is the step we take to get confidence. You don't get confident in something and then go and do it. We get confident by taking a step, doing it over and over and over, and we get more and more and more confident. That's how confidence works. Okay. So you can still be quietly confident and rock the world. You don't have to be this loud bravado kind of person. I have absolutely my loud and my stage, and you guys, you see it on reels, you see it in podcasts, you see it on the stuff that social media sees and the world sees. However, I am a quiet person in this world. Would really happily almost be a version, not boring, but I'm quiet. I don't need to be engaged in the big world in a really big way. So for me, I've learned to embrace my natural strengths of being really curious about people, so that if I do see someone standing on their own, I can go, hey, tell me about this, tell me about that. And I will chat to people, but I've got to have the courage to take that step. And so it's almost too much energy for me to break into a group. If there's 3 or 4 or 6 or people, for instance, anywhere standing, chatting, I find that almost too big a stretch for me. Okay. Where going up and finding the lone person or just 2 people standing together, I can do that. Go up and say, hey, I'm Jan. I haven't got anyone to talk to. Can I talk to you, please? That works for me. That's still a stretch. Even years and years and years on, it's still a mindful stretch I do to keep building more confidence and coming. It's not that I come out of my shyness. I'm still shy. However, I've learned how to work with it instead of it being debilitating, because some people find it debilitating, and I really get it. I really get it. So if we make baby steps as we go along, so like I said, I put myself into situations where I'm uncomfortable and grow through it. I remember when I started to play ukulele, there's a ukulele group that meets down at Currumbinelli, fabulous group of people. And I was really new to learning ukulele and turned up there the first time. I knew like 3 chords. I felt so intimidated, and I didn't go back for a year. I couldn't. It was like, oh, this is like, what? It was tough. I found it really tough. And I stopped learning the uke a year later. I didn't stop, I didn't advance learning the uke.
Have you ever wondered how your life could have been different if you'd had access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm working to build the #1 platform that gives real and easy to integrate healthy life hacks and mindset to help you get well and stay well. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers. It would mean the world to me if you could click the subscribe button right now, leave a 5-star written review, or drop a comment below. Share this episode with a friend and I would be forever grateful. Now, let's get back to this week's episode.
And a year later, a friend of mine who played in the group, Felicity, she said, why don't you come back, come back. And she's going, you'll be right. And I thought, I have to do this. I have to work this out. It was just another place that I needed to, work with my shyness. And so I went and I found someone standing on their own. I went up and went, hi, I'm Jen. Can I stand near you, please? Can I share, music with you and stuff? And met a great guy by the name of Neil. Neil's in his 80s and he's just a bloody legend, a great ukulele player. And it's really cool. We'll pass each other even just out in the community nowadays. And he's just become a shining light in my life. But it started by me being really shy about going to this ukulele meetup. But I did it. And I met this great guy, Neil. And since I've immersed myself more into it and gradually met more and more people and am comfortable to go there nowadays. But it took courage to go there, one step, find someone. That's my secret, I swear. If you get nothing else from this, find one person to talk to and be really interested and curious about them. Don't just babble on about yourself. Just, don't interrogate them, but have a great conversation and learn about that person. And whatever the common ground is. The common ground is playing ukulele. Or I was at this conference, an early years conference I was speaking at in Darwin on the weekend. And so, my first question is, what brings you to this conference? And you just start a conversation. Turned out this woman was one of the judges for the big awards night, all this kind of stuff. And seriously, cool woman, loved meeting her. So shyness can be a tool because many shy people are naturally better listeners. My ADHD brain likes to ping around the place, but I've taught it to stay on point by listening to books instead of reading books. So listening to audiobooks has taught me to build my listening skills. So that's another thing I've done to just grow me to be able to do it. And so nowadays, my shyness, if anything, that quieter, reserved nature makes me more approachable by other people. There's definitely loud, Jen. Trust me, I have both spectrums. However, when I'm outside my comfort zone, my shyness shines really big and I need to be able to work with it. And this is how I've been able to work with it. So I am more quietly confident nowadays. You don't have to be the big, loud kind of version of Jen to be able to rock things in life. So often in business, and in careers, the shy person is a better listener and they tend to be a better, what's the word? A better, I don't know, they'll build trust with their people that they're working with faster and stuff because they listen. Everyone wants to be heard. And so there's just that quiet confidence can be so much better in a lot of situations than the big, loud, boisterous kind of confidence or, personality. So neither's right or wrong. There's a place for big, loud Jen, 100%. There's a big place for quiet Jen. And we have all that range in the middle. So I wanted to talk about this to say, if you are the shy person like me, maybe it's worth putting yourself in a different situation where you can start to grow that muscle. It's just like a muscle. We get to have the courage, take the step, build the confidence, do it again, repeat. And we gradually start to find our range so that we can get out there and do all the things that we want to do. Everyone is unique and the world needs balance. It needs both sides, of the range and everything in between. So like I say, there's no right or wrong. Own you. If you are that quiet, shyer person, own it. It's a superpower. It is a superpower because generally you're a better listener. And that's needed in the world because people need to be heard. So build on that quiet confidence if you are that shy person or introverted person, same but different. And bring your plate, really kind of build on your place in the world. The world needs you and it needs the full range of people, not just the big loud ones, I promise. I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review, have a free 1-hour consultation with me. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're tuning in from so that you always catch the next episode. I welcome your emails, and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.